Hello all, I am Professor Disha Shukla and I am conducting the subject Wireless Communication. My today's topic is antenna design consideration. But before starting with the antenna design consideration, let me introduce to you in brief what is an antenna. Now, antenna is a conductor. It is a transceiver, that is, it is used in transmitting and receiving the radio signals for a wireless communication or a wired communication. Antenna is can transmit the signal and it can also receive the signal. So it is called a transceiver. It is the basic necessity whenever we want to create a wireless network. Antennas are mostly divided into three different types. I mean, they can be either dipole antennas, that is the antennas that have two different poles, or they can either be a parabolic antenna, an antenna that has a dish or something, and through that particular signal is transmitted. But before that, also we have an isotropic antenna along with it. But an isotropic antenna is something that radiates equally in all direction. That is, it is a kind of an antenna that will be transmitting its signal equally. That is, the signals transmitted will have the same strength, the signals will have same strength in all the direction. Those are called the isotropic antenna. But in a practical situation, it is not it is not possible to have a particular isotropic antenna. These are the ideal antennas. So it is not necessary that when we practically see a particular antenna we can find an ideal antenna. So because of that, it is possible that the antennas that we use in our practical life, they may be transmitting different amount of signals in different direction. So generally, whenever a particular antenna is designed, or a particular antenna is and any research is done based on the antennas, then the researches are done keeping a particular ideal antenna in mind, that is keeping an isotropic antenna in mind, so that the results can be justified in the same manner. So that is what an antenna is. Now, for designing a particular antenna, there are certain factors that we need to keep in mind. So those are the designing consideration that we need to keep in mind and follow them for designing a particular antenna. Let's see which are them. Say the first one is to know the common antenna types available. So as I already told you that there are different types of antenna as per the requirements they are used. Like when you want to transmit in a particular angle, then you use a dipole antenna, and that too in a particular angle. So based on the your requirement, there are lots of types of antennas and they can be used. Now, standard designs that are widely available, that includes monopole, L-type and F-type antennas. The standard F-type antennas are the most extensively used and offers the best trade-off between the size, efficiency and are fairly omnidirectional. That is, they transmit in all the direction equally. A meandering trace can be used to compact the PCB area, but this will be at the cost of the performance. So it is important to know the common antenna types that are available. So before designing an antenna, this is the thing that we need to keep in mind. Consider the construction of the circuit board. The PCB trace length will determine the resonant frequency. So the higher the frequency, the shorter the trace. Hence, each antenna requires a keep out area on the PCB. Now this is defined as an area around the antenna trace where no copper traces or ground fields will be used on any layer of the PCB. So this is particularly an area. The area this is defined particularly an area that is around the antenna trace, and in that particular place no copper trace or no ground fields will be layered. So wider the trace are often better. So as and when these traces are wider, it will be performing better as they typically give a wider bandwidth. So the trace can either be a gold flashed or it can be covered with solder masks. The antenna's electrical performance will be determined by the substrate material used, its thickness and its dielectric constant. So these are the factors that define its electrical performance, the antenna's electrical performance. That is the substrate material that is used, its thickness and the dielectric constant. The ground plane is again critical. The PCB trace antennas are ground plane dependent. So as they must have a ground plane to be effective, the shape and the size of the ground plane is relative to the antenna. It will affect the impedance and the performance of the PCB antenna. The shape and the size of the ground plane that we use in a particular antenna, it will affect the impedance and the performance of the PCB antennas. So the ground plane should have a should be via along the entire edge of the antenna, and it should be keep out of the area. The fourth point is always include the matching components. Now, a mismatch antenna can greatly reduce the total radio frequency link budget and range performance. So, make sure to incorporate a pi network placed directly at the antenna feed point to prevent the unnecessary mismatch losses. The next point is beware of the environment in which the antenna will be used. So the plastic enclosures, the metal components and the presence of other components in the proximity of the antenna, it will all affect the turning and radiation pattern of the antenna. So never place the antenna close to the metallic object, nor use a metallic or metallized plastic enclosed ideally, but we should ideally keep these external influences in the antennas far field. So the environment in which will be putting the antenna is also crucial. Plastic enclosures, metal components and the presence of other components in proximity to the antenna, this will all affect the turning and the radiation pattern of the antenna. The radiation pattern of the antenna is already discussed in the other video, you can see there. Now turning is needed for every application. So what does this mean? All the PCB antennas are board specific, and the dimension and the matching will need to be determined for each implementation. Now copying an existing design does not ensure good performance, gain and radiation pattern, which will vary as the parameter in the surrounding areas changes. So the length of the antenna will need to be adjusted according to these variables. Now additionally, the final tuning and the matching should be completed in the end product enclosure and installations, and not in the open air. So tuning is needed for every application. Now as all these PCB antennas are board specific, and their dimensions and matching will need to be determined for each implementation, it is necessary that copying an existing design does not ensure your performance, and the gain and the radiation pattern will vary as the parameters in the surrounding area changes. So the length of the antenna will be adjusted according to these variables. Hence it is necessary to keep in mind that the tuning that we provide to the particular PCB antenna should be completed in the endpoint enclosure. Antenna matching is a must. That is, maximum RF power, that is the radio frequency power, is transferred when the antenna impedance matches the source impedance. That is, whenever the transmitter's impedance matches the source's impedance, it is necessary. Say for example, consider a return loss of less than 10 decibels as a figure of merit for a good antenna match. Now this means that 10% of this incident power is reflected due to the mismatch. That is because the antennas at the receiving side and antenna at the transmitting side does not match each other. 10% of the incident power will be reflected because of this mismatch. Now the antenna return loss is characterized by measuring the reflected power at the feed point of the antenna. So this is also necessary, that the antenna's return loss is characterized by measuring the reflected power. The antenna is disconnected from the transceiver, and a network analyzer is connected through a coaxial cable to perform the measurements. Now remember, it is imperative to tune the antenna while it is placed in the position and the environment used during the normal operation. So again, it is necessary that you tune the transmitter antenna and the receiving antenna so that it can work properly, so that it is imperative to tune them and place them in a position and environment where both of them can be used equally. So this is all about the design consideration while design this is all about the factors that you need to keep in mind, the considerations that you keep in mind when you design a particular antenna. If you have any questions in this, you can ask me. Thank you.